You can listen to this practice wherever it is that you find yourself today. You can be sitting down, or you can be laying down, or you can even be stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully, wherever you are at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would prefer to listen to this practice while being in a still position, you can take a moment now to just allow yourself to fidget, adjust, stretch, or move your body in whatever ways your body wants to move. As you really do your best to not think about these movements at all or worry about what anything looks like, but stepping fully into your sense of feeling as you follow those yummy sensations that you might feel when you roll out the shoulders, the neck, the spine, maybe the hips, and the wrists or ankles. And just trusting your own instincts when it comes to movement. Trusting that your body will move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones, muscles, and joints. And if at any time what feels best in your body is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow your eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you take this moment now to drop in to your body, to drop into this moment, to this breath. And maybe it feels good to call in a big breath of air, fresh new air entering the body, and allowing yourself to inhale as much as you can, filling up to every corner and edge of you. And holding that for just a moment when you're full, to just experience what that feels like to be full of air, and slowly exhaling it all out as you need to. Bit by bit, as you gently pull the navel in toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale, to push any last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment here, to now stay and experience what it feels like to be empty in the body. Allowing your next breath to come in as it's needed. And you can continue to breathe in this slow, intentional, exaggerated way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. Just knowing that there is no need to worry about the actual length of your inhales, the exhales, and those pauses on either side. But we're simply allowing each of these 4 parts of your breath to be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. Just consciously and intentionally deepening and slowing down the breath, and therefore communicating to our cells, to our nervous system on a deep level, that now is a time to slow down, to let go, and to release. And there's no rush here whatsoever as well. You can continue to breathe in this slow and intentional way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. But at any point, if you haven't already, you may release this guidance over your breath altogether. As you now step back and up in the mind and into the role of the observer, into the role of the witness. As you shift into that perspective where you are no longer the one who is guiding or controlling the rhythm or depth of your breath, but you are simply watching as your own body breathes you. Remembering how our body does breathe all on its own and function perfectly all on its own, even in your deepest state of sleep. And there is nothing that you should be doing right now. This is not a doing or a thinking process, but rather one of listening, observing, and just taking in whatever is here for you to take in, to feel all that is here for you to feel. And making note of any expression that you might feel resting on your face right now. Any areas of tension gathering in the face. Maybe the brow is furrowed or the nostrils flared. The jaw could be tense, holding some tension in the chin or the ears even. And just letting your awareness of any areas of tension be all that you need to instead allow these areas to release, to let go. Almost seeing all of these tiny muscles in the face ungrip from the bones and release back into the support of your own skin. Remembering that you can trust your own anatomy and how even in your deepest state of sleep, you are never crushed and you never float away, but you are always being held exactly where you need to be. Your skin is always holding your muscles, bones, joints, and everything in between. It's always holding everything right where it needs to be. Your skin is constantly hugging you, holding you. And so just releasing yourself into that support. Knowing that the earth that is beneath you will always hold you up. And the force of gravity all around you will always keep you close to this earth. And just allowing yourself to be exactly where you are. Allowing yourself to be exactly as you are as well. Even if there is pain present, maybe physical pain in the body, maybe mental or emotional, psychological pain in the mind. Maybe if there's any chatter in the mind of any sort, you can allow all of these things to be here as well. And oftentimes when we are experiencing pain of any sort, our instinct naturally is to run away from that uncomfortable feeling, from that painful feeling, from that pain. And we can give ourselves so much grace with that understanding, knowing that, of course, you don't want to feel pain, and it is painful to experience pain. And at the same time, absolutely everything that we feel in this life is temporary, since everything about life is temporary and fleeting. And so, even if there is pain anywhere within you right now, just seeing if you can allow your body, all of your muscles, to soften around that pain, to hug that area in the body or the mind that needs that hug, to allow for any emotional releases that naturally need to come to arise and release. Knowing that you will never drown in your tears, knowing that every storm runs out of rain, and oftentimes opening that valve when we have the chance and the safe space to let our emotions out can make us feel a lot lighter when it's all out. And staying in that still, calm place, almost like the eye of the storm. Just seeing if, even if it's just for a moment, you can step out of yourself and your body and purely witness all that is here for you to witness. Just reminding yourself that you are an entirely unique and valuable individual. And your perception is entirely unique and valuable. What you are currently feeling, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, what you are currently experiencing is a unique and personalized experience for you. And there is nobody else out there who perceives life and the world in the exact way that you do. in the way that you see the world, the way that you experience life is unique and noteworthy. And if you become aware that maybe you experience a lot more pain and suffering and turbulence within your mind or your heart or anywhere in the body, be so, so kind and patient with yourself, because you do not need to pile on top of yourself. If you notice that there are voices that are trying to bring you down, or feelings that are uncomfortable to feel or painful to feel, you can just remember that it is safe for you to feel the full range of human feelings. You are a human. And as a human, you will feel the full range of human experiences, emotions, feelings. And you are not expected to feel positive, blissful, and inspired, and wonderful, and loved, and loving all of the time. And if we did feel those ways all of the time, we wouldn't even appreciate those feelings, because they would just be normal. And so we can learn to have some form of an appreciation for the darkness, for the negativity, for the just more painful aspects of life. Since the heights of your highs are directly related to and affected by the depths of your lows. And just using your own life history as proof of this fact. Maybe remembering a really dark time in life, or maybe a time now where you feel a lot of darkness around you, within you. And then remembering those peaks of light that happen even within the darkest times. The birds that still sing, the sun that still shines, even if it's behind storm clouds or on the other side of the world. Just all the beauty and wonder of life that is still here for us to witness, for us to learn from. And so if you do feel that you are not where you want to be, or heading in a direction that you don't want to go, you can remind yourself that simply being aware that you are in a place you don't want to be, or heading in a direction you don't want to go, is that first step in then being an active participant of your life path and your journey and where you will go. Those moments when you realize that things aren't the way you want them to be can be really scary, but they can also be, at the same time, great gifts and a redirection onto where we belong. And oftentimes in life, we have to veer off of the path to know where the path actually is. And veering off of the path is a part of the whole journey of life. Just like the moon, we will wax and wane as well. Sometimes we will be bright and whole, connected, and feel totally illuminated by our soul, by the spark within us. And other times we will feel like a new moon and be totally in the darkness, feel disconnected and in the shadows. And we never blame the moon when it is in its new moon phase, when it's not reflecting any light. We don't blame the trees when they shed their leaves. And so we do not need to blame ourselves when we are in the shadows, in darkness, or feeling disconnected from ourselves. But we can simply remember that this is just another phase in life. It doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It doesn't mean that you are being punished. It simply means that you are alive and a part of life. And so it is safe for you to fully feel whatever is here for you to feel, knowing that the next set of feelings are right around the corner. And that can be a great comfort to you if what you're feeling right now is painful, because you can know that this will pass and no feeling lasts forever, and you will feel joy again. And you can also use that as great permission for you to fully soak in all of the light that you do feel, all of the goodness you feel, and make the most of all of that. Shine as much light as you can for others in the darkness while you can. Knowing that when you are in darkness in the future, there will be others to shine that light for you as well. And we will continue to move through these phases, just like the moon, just like the trees, just like everything else in nature. And so you can just allow yourself to move through these phases with a little bit less resistance, to ride these waves of change that come and go. And sometimes when we feel a big change coming in the air or in our life, we can feel it swelling up almost like a giant wave. If you imagine sitting in the ocean and seeing a giant wave coming your way, when you feel that pull of the current taking you deeper to sea for a moment, and you look up, you see all the water swelling, rising up above you. you have some options in those moments. You can choose to turn in the direction that the wave is facing and ride with it. You can allow it to push you even with more force into that next stage of change, into that next place, if that's where you're at. And you can also dive under the wave and wait for the next one if you need a break. But the one thing that will guarantee more pain is if you just stand there and look at this wave, because it will fold over right in your face, probably knock you over backwards and toss you around in the ocean a bunch of times. And it'll take you some time before you get up for air again. And fighting the changes that happen in our life can look a lot like that. And so you do not need to fight any changes that are occurring. You can ride with them or press pause and turn away, turn your attention to something else, something more comforting for the time being. But do not just stand in the same place. Because you are strong enough to make a decision to ride with the wave or to dive under the wave. Either way, you are making a decision and becoming a more active participant in your life. You can just take the next few moments to re-soften your body if any tension has crept back anywhere in the muscles. And take this moment to just allow every single word that you've heard today and every single feeling that you have felt today to settle within you. And just trust that anything at all that you heard today that resonated with you or struck a chord with you in some way, just trusting that that feeling can sometimes come when we hear on the outside what a part of ourselves already knows to be true on the inside. So just allowing those deep truths to be enhanced within you, so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition and to trust your own instincts. And if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you feel this contact of your palms and fingertips to one another, And you let your heart lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. As you feel and tune in to all of this energy generated through you, your own heartbeat. The steady background beat, the steady rhythm to your entire existence. And taking a final deep and full breath of air into the body, watching yourself fill up to every corner and edge of you, the most you have today. And as you exhale, letting go of anything at all you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. Just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you, thank you, thank you.